Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, look at my desk. It's total chaos over here. And yeah, it's total chaos. But the reason is because when I was prepping yesterday and getting things together, I got interrupted by my daughter and my husband bringing me my birthday cake. And so we had our celebration last night. It was really fun, but this is in the wake of that. So today is my birthday, and thank you guys for all the birthday wishes already this morning. Wow, it's early, and to get that many birthday wishes, it means a lot to me. Thank you. And I've decided officially it's fall. So I made the mistake of going to Hobby Lobby yesterday. It is apparently Christmas now because Hobby Lobby is full of Christmas, but they have all their fall stuff out too. And it kind of got me in the mood to work on some fall things. And so I came home and I just started die cutting and stamping and just see what I could put together. And I never made it very far. I did get some things die cutted. Is that a word? Die cut? Okay, whatever. Pardon my grammar. Anyway, these are the sets I have to work with. So I have this Rustic crate set. Thank you, Christy. Thank you very much. I am 59 today, and I thought I was 58. And then I did the math and realized I was 59. I'm like, how did that happen? How do you forget how old you are? Weird, but whatever. Anyway, so this is the Rustic crate set. And I bought this because I liked the little things. And I have all those, wagons and trucks and things to put things in, and this one even comes with a little crate. As a matter of fact, the die cut that it has, if you look at it, it has score lines on it, and this front part that has like wood grain embossed in it, it cuts these two pieces out, and then this adheres here, and it goes across, and it adheres to here. It might go the other way. It might go this way. I can't remember. But anyway, it makes a little crate. I have one in here somewhere, but it's just too adorable. And then these little things can just plop into that. So that's one set I have to play with. And it has a Christmassy, it has just this that's just plants. And then it has this one that is very fallish, and I like that a lot. So I was like, well, maybe. And then, I just wanted to show you. And I have the wagon that also has little things, and they are interchangeable. So like this one makes this little wagon, and you can see you could fill it with pumpkins. So that's cool. That to me, that's fun. Okay, but the one I really wanted to look at was this one, because there was a that's funny, Christy. This one is one I bought for the Christmas trees, right? I wanted Christmassy evergreens, and this one is perfect for that. As a matter of fact, I bought it to use with that, what's the name of it? Dang. The one that has the trees as like a frame. So I'll be pulling it back out again closer to Christmas, or soon, whenever. But there was a consultant online who used this tree to make some fall trees, and I was like, oh, I definitely need to play with that, because I hadn't even thought about really using this tree much. These are the reason I bought it, and I was like, oh, this is good, very good. So this one comes with dies, stamps, and there are stencils. So if you don't like coloring, there are layered stencils for these trees and layered stencils for the tree that I'm using today. Now, I did not stamp this tree, although gosh, you know, with the stencils, I should have. That would be really fun to do that in fall colors. Maybe I'll play with that later and post some pictures of that stenciled. I went ahead and just die cut like crazy. I'm getting a little tired of die cutting. I'm ready to get out my ink and play, so I can't believe I'm doing this today. But the other fall things I have that I pulled out, I have this embossing folder that does the leaves, and I thought, I need to use it. I bought it. I have a plan for it. But every time I've used one that doesn't cover the whole thing, I'm always disappointed. So I wanted to play with that and see how that worked out. I also got this one. This one is a new one that will be available on September 4th. And it is a 3D folder, and it's plaid, and I like that it's not perfect straight. It's wonky, wavy images. In other words, like if I had drawn it myself, this is what it would look like. But anyway, I thought, let's try that out. I had somebody ask me if I use these very much, and I want you to know that I have so far used them on almost every single layout, almost every single card, almost every single stamp set that I pull out. I cut some of these and use them. And what's interesting is I stored them by design. Like I put all these little leaf sets together, but when you stack them together, you can put different things. Like there's the lined one, this fits inside, this little stitched one fits inside the lined one. This one fits on the outside of that. This fit, they all nest together. I just find them harder to pick up off of the magnet if I store them that way, like this, all nested. These are the deckled circles. I really wanted to use the deckled circles today, and I didn't want to get out my bigger, my spellbinder I just wanted to use my smaller one. And so I didn't use these today, but look how cool those are. Gosh, I just love them. This is one of those things that I absolutely love. And I bought them when they first came out from a friend who was a demonstrator. And then when I became a demonstrator, I forgot I had them and I bought them again. So anybody wanting a deal on some deckled circles, let me know, because I have 2 sets of them now. Why? I don't need 2 sets, right? The other things that I have that are kind of fallish, I thought I need to use up this paper. This is that, I think it's Thoughtful Wishes, Thoughtful Journey 6x6 paper, and I keep showing it. I've used this kind of paper often, but basically it has 4 of each design, and the designs are kind of vague, watercolory, and then some of them are more like scenes, and the backs. I remember when I used that on that bay window. This one is kind of summery, but see the back, how cool that is? That would be a great tree, right? And so I'm going to use these with those winter trees and that frame so I'm saving these ones that have more purple in them, that look more wintry for, winter cards. That's my plan. Those look summery, but I think they'll look good with winter stuff too. Then we get into summer and fall-ish looking things. And look at those colors, and if you cut out a tree using that, I think it would look like fall. So I started digging through here, and I found some that have more peaches and oranges and browns or rust colors. And I just started die cutting. So let me just set those aside over here. And this is what I came up with. Like these, look at these trees. And, you know, I cut that out of this paper so you can kind of see, it just has different, it just makes it look variegated. And it's really, and this one I did, you know, upside down like that. It gives a totally different look. There you can see, I cut that one out of this paper. Hold on. And you can see how I cut that tree out of there, and it has those lines that are showing. So I just cut a whole bunch of those colors because they're fall. I cut a whole bunch of tree trunks, and I cut a few out of that blue and like peacock color. It's more out of, I can't remember which paper it was. Might have been that one. Because it just, to me, those aren't necessarily fall colors, but they are really cool looking. And it saved me from having to, like, I don't know, create them from scratch, like using my inks or whatever. Now, the dies are interesting in that they have a background die that you can cut like this, and then you could just use your, you know, your tree trunk on it like this. Or you can layer your pieces. Let me get a little bit darker tree like this. Look how pretty. Ooh, the part of this I don't love. I think this is technically to cut out the stamped image here, and see, you would stamp it and put your trunk on there. You see that? But I thought it would probably look really neat just to have this on there, and you know, just that alone in the background would be kind of a cool tree. The other thought I had was, what if you just take your scissors and chop the trunk off, right? And then you just have the bushy part of the tree, and then die cut the trunk. So I like the look of that. And I do like the look of having these, like, I don't know, layered. It just gives it kind of a cool look. So I just want to show you, this is, when I got this set, I'll tell you what, when I saw this die with all those little bitty holes in it, I'm like, no, that is never gonna cut, not in a million years. And it'll be a pain to get all those little pieces out. I don't want to sit and poke this thing forever. So I just want to show you, I'm gonna cut one out really fast on my little sidekick. Now my sidekick does not attach to this mat very well. So I'm going to kind of do it off to the side here, but I'm just going to run it through and run it back. And I just want to show you, I'm going to make a mess, but how it cuts out, And then, all right. And then I have one of those, you know, brushes that you use for die cutting and stuff. Any brush works. I used to use a toothbrush a long time ago. And you can see how all the little pieces come out pretty easy. So I just take the brush and I scrub it and kind of go in like this. And then I scrub it like this. And you can see all the little pieces. I don't want to do the whole thing because look at the mess I'm making. It only takes me see, I did the middle section basically. It doesn't take very long to do it. It's just, I usually do it over my trash can and not on my desk because what a mess, right? But it does work, and I'm shocked at how well it works. So let me just pop this thing out here. And honestly, look how clean it is. I only have one dot right there one dot right there. And I don't pay attention to those little, and then of course I need to do the bottom. But I just thought, man, that cuts slick. That cuts better than I thought it would for sure. And so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let me get rid of this. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's why I do that over my trash. You should see my floor today. I'm not going to show you my floor. Okay, so let's just make some cards. This is like, remember when I just used those leaves? And oh my gosh, those leaves are very tempting to use today too, because gosh, are they pretty. But I cut some 4 by 5 1/4 panels. I cut some that are smaller and embossed a few. I just wanted a few panels. I also cut a few scenery style panels, thinking, you know, maybe that would look good as a background for some of these trees. And then I cut some full cards, just card bases. So I was just playing. I have card bases in a whole bunch of colors. And I'm like, let's see what we can come up with that we like. You know, this is like kind of how I like to make cards. I don't like to have a thing in mind that I'm going to make. I do that, but it never turns out the way I plan. Of course, unless I'm copying somebody identically, right? All right, let's start with a green card. And Steve's putting the recycles out, and Moose is watching him apparently. Okay, all right. So let's just start with a green card base, and this is white. And oh, you know, the other thing that I pulled out. Okay, this is a ribbon that's going to be available in September. It is in Wild Wheat, and I got to tell ya, it's the color of baby poop. All right, it really is. It's like baby diarrhea, green-ish gold. But when you put it with gold things, it's gold. And so it's perfect for fall and Christmas. So I pulled it out. And then there's also a 3-pack, wherever I put it. Here it is. A 3-pack of thread. Blue, green, and this kind of cool brown. I know that has a color. I want to say it's Cajun Craze because that's kind of like that paprika color, you know. But I just grabbed it thinking I might put a little ribbon on it. It's been a long time since I've used ribbon on a card. Just saying, it's been a long time. So I was thinking maybe I could just start layering some pieces on. Oh, I like that. That's nice. All right, let me cut that down to 5 1/4. And yeah, I'm just gonna start putting things together. And if it doesn't turn out perfect, oh well. Oh wow, look, the other side will look good with that those bluer trees. Okay, I like that. I really like these leaves, and I think that would make a really neat panel, but I don't think I want something that big on there. And so I like the idea of having a message or something in another color. So I'm not sure which yet. Let's do our tree. Actually, I think I'm just gonna do a couple of trees since I'm gonna have to glue them anyway. Oh, that middle probably will probably show, actually. All right, so if I just get, oh yeah, it will definitely show. All right, so if I just put this on, wipe off the excess, or let me just put like a weight on there a minute, and then I think I'll do a couple. I'm watching my dog go bananas. Sorry, I'm sidetracked. He's just like going crazy over here. Okay, there's that one. And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and while I'm gluing trees, wow, look at that. Woo! Oh, lifted it too soon. Adhere already. Okay, but pretty. All right, let me see. Oh, here's that crate. Okay, so I put that crate together and see how it makes it almost like pop. It glues on this tab and this tab, and then it makes it kind of dimensional. You could put things in there. And then I just colored some of the pumpkins, and I thought that would be really nice. This one I used chalk, and this one I used marker. I'm not as crazy about the chalk, but I haven't used chalk for a while, so I was like, let's try it. Anyway, so yeah, that would be pretty on there too. Let's see. Oh, looky how nice. That's so pretty. Yeah, I like that. I think that would look good on the brown card as well, since the crate is brown. I think I'm going to do that. I like it. All right. I probably should put some ribbon or something on it since I got it out. Oh, drop it on the floor. Let's see. I don't love using like so much of this, but it's just a little, you know, all over the place for me. But I'm gonna do it here. The other thing that I do with this is I like to use Scotch tape, and especially on cards, like who cares what is on the back, but just something to really like hold that in place so that it doesn't come loose later. Let me make sure the opening is on the right side. Okay. And I think part of the appeal to me of this thread is it adds a little texture and a little bit of color. I didn't make it tight enough, but I'll fix that in a minute. Okay. All right. And then, do I want brown? No, it'll be too matchy. But I do like this, and I like this for someone special. I got that one out of a Christmas set, which is kind of an interesting idea. So while I'm sitting here gluing and messing around, I want to talk to you a second about Facebook. So one of the things that has been happening lately is that people are looking for, jeez, Moosey, seriously, people walking by. I'm just gonna glue this on. So if you're looking for something recent, something that I have shown in the last 2 months, I've been pinning them to that featured section so that you can find them again really easy. So it's super easy if you're on a computer, because basically what happens is you go on the computer, look under featured, and it just shows the top 8 or 9 latest things, right? But gosh, that's so gorgeous, so gorgeous. If you want something older, the easiest way to find it is to do a search for a word, and don't put a ton of words in, just put one thing. Like if you were looking for this video, like I would probably say making cards using frosted forest. And if you know you're looking for the tree card, you could say, well, just look for forest or something. Pretty, la la la. Okay, the other thing, I have lots of gems, and these are sequins, and I just thought these coppery ones look really good with this, so I could use brown. Brown is nice too. Very fall, very fallish. Anyway, so that pinned feature is a big deal. When you're on your phone, sometimes the things that are under the featured section are a little bit harder to find because you have to scroll through on your phone. But yeah, you get my drift. You get what I'm saying. Okay, I really like this. I want to make something with one of these trees. So let me make the tree itself. I've got these put together. Now I just need to do this one. Sorry, if I would have done prep, I would have had maybe shown you putting together one of these and then not had all the rest done already. Sorry. Time gets away. So there's one. I just use my liquid glue, but you know, this actually would be easy with the tape runner too, because you could just put tape runner on. I'm just gonna make a couple more while I'm messing around. I like the idea of just doing one. You'll notice some of my are darker than the others, my trunks. And the darker trunk is actually Stampin' Up paper. I bought a couple of packs of the cardstock to see if I liked the... What I'm finding is I like the heavy sturdiness of the cardstock, and I have a lot of projects where I really like having cardstock that's solid through. Like, you don't always have to have white coated cardstock, and it's so nice to have the option. And one of the things that they're talking about with all of this scrapbooking stuff is offering all their colors in the two-tone white core in addition to their normal colors. So I'm like, well, this is like the best of both worlds for me, because I like it a lot. There you go. And I do that on my all-purpose mat or a glass mat. That way, you know, if it sticks, it's not the end of the world. Okay, I like that. I like that. This one is still drying. Okay, one thing I really like, I want this to look a little fallish, I think. Oh, but look, pretty, 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 pretty. Do I want to put ribbon on another card? Where's my ribbon? Yes, I do. I like that gold ribbon. Now, some people just wrap it around and tie a bow. You know how I am at tying bows. Not my favorite thing. So, I'm going to do my trick of taking this. This ribbon is gorgeous, by the way. It's kind of see-through, but it's got that gold tone, and it's not everybody's cup of tea. I know that. But the color, a lot of the demonstrators do not love this wild wheat color, and I am starting to feel like I need to buy a whole pack of it, because I don't really have anything like it. Like Sundance is not close. Toffee is sort of close. Or Acorn. Acorn is probably the closest to this that I have. There we go. And then, do I dare? Do I dare? Do I dare? Tie bow. On camera again. I'm always like futzing with bows, but I do like how they look on cards and stuff. I just don't, I kind of stopped using them as much when Close to My Heart got rid of their ribbon that they had. Looks like I need to get out my fabric scissors. Okay. And then adhering a bow is, you know, always a thing. Okay. So I'll put that down. I like to use Terran tape, like score tape, for adhering a bow. The other really great way to adhere a bow is with foam tape, because foam tape will stick to just about anything. And so sometimes I'll use foam tape and just a daub of glue, but you can see it's on there pretty sturdy. So, all right. And I want to use this tree, which means I need a circle. I think a big circle. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? And then I need I think I need a message. Let me look at my messages that I did stamp a few I have thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. I have that in different colors. Blessed beyond measure. I have these. No beauty shines brighter than a good heart. Oh, I like that. I like the shape of that message. You mean so much to me. That's another good one. If I scoot it over to this side, I don't know about that bow being there. I think I need it over here. And then I think I'm just gonna do this. Okay, got a plan, So, is there anything on my desk that you're wanting to see in particular? That would be probably the main thing, because I'm just playing today. I have nothing in mind, so I think I want a little something running out of my skinny foam. Thin foam. I got to get another sheet out. Wow, that's really pretty. And I can use gold. See how that wild wheat, it's gold. So it's not just that baby poop brown. I'm just saying, it's just not. All right, let's. There's card 2. Ooh, pretty. I probably should have shaded a little bit of that glacier ink under there. That would have looked nice on that white. Okay, let's do another. Let's see. Should we do one with leaves? This is an A2 card that folds up. In other words, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I've made the fold. I cut the 8 1/2 sheet in half this direction. Let's see what I've got here. Do I want to use just trees? Look at that. Wow. That is just really pretty. It's just beautiful the way it is. The other thing I just want to show you is you can put a scene on and put circles. Look at that. Too much? There's different options here. Wouldn't that be a really pretty sympathy card? I think it was you, Christy, who talked about sympathy cards not very long ago. But look at how beautiful that is. That really is pretty. I like that a lot. I kind of like this with this. The reality is, I like this green. This green is such a nice green. This one is Mossy Meadow, I think. So this is the other one that I bought. So I'm trying to use some of the Stampin' Up colors, and not all close to my heart, but you know, I have some close to my heart here too. Gosh. Yeah, see, this is almost too busy. It almost does need just the tree. Wow, that's really pretty though. Ta-da! Yeah, I like that. That's really nice. And it's not too much. It's not too over the top. So, see, I cut this tree out of this paper specifically. So, and that's the back. Anyway, I'm just showing you different things to try. I think I am going to put this on. Okay. Yeah, I like that. And then, wow, pretty. Tell me if you hate it or if you like it. All right. I like when the front is a little loose, because then I can tuck into it, or I can tie around it. So for example, if I take my ribbon and just do like an overhand knot, I like that. And then that knot can slide wherever you need it to be. And then you can trim it to whatever size you want. Ooh, it's toasty in this house today. I should have turned the air up. Let's see, like that. I like this gold. The other thing this set has is it has a bird. It has a bird stamp. And I feel like this needs a bird. I think I'll just use espresso and that screams sympathy. I may wait and get out my sympathy messages, but you can see where a message would go right there. I like that. And then I don't usually bling sympathy cards too much because that's a little weird to make them like, I don't know, but you know, you could add a little something to it. So there's that one. Let's see, let's do another. Let's see. I like this white, another overhand card. And okay, so I took some of that embossed and I put some glitter on it, and this is how I did it. Okay, so this is Stickles, this is copper. Now you can use any color you want, and just squeeze a little tiny bit out on your desk. Come on. Doesn't want to go. Hold on a second. My glitter glues, you gotta unstick from time to time. Okay. You get some out on your table and you use your finger, and just sort of swipe across it really lightly. And then you get like a little bit of glitter. I feel like it needs more. I want more. Sometimes to get it going, I will take this little topper off and see if there's something plugging it in there. I have a lot of stickles, so I can use any color. This is copper, and I haven't used copper for a while, so it's probably all gunked up in there, but anyway. So I'm just gonna glitter that up. Do you see that? It's cool looking. And I use stickles a lot, especially when I don't have a lot of like dots in the right color or whatever. Okay, where is my blue tree? I love that. Oh, I'm warm. I'm over warm. I think I want this blue message. Thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. And I'm just gonna cut those edges. That just by itself is really pretty. It needs a panel or something because it's too plain. So I think I need an additional panel that is embossed, that will raise up. Let me see if I have anything over here embossed. I have this one left over from my Pink Fresh. It just needs a little something, you know, a little something. I don't like that. All right, I'm gonna hang on to this one, and I'm gonna emboss this and make that card like that. That'll be a card by itself, but I'm not quite ready for that one. All right, what next? I want to use those leaves. I really wanted to use this copper, but it's causing trouble. I may have to get a different color. Yeah, let me grab a different color. I need to work on that one. Sorry. How about rose gold? Like I said, I have like every color you can imagine. Make sure it squeezes out okay. These stickles are going to be like the death of me. I have a gold there we go. Okay. Always keep a pen nearby when you're using stickles. All right. So I kind of like it. I think I'm going to put it on this one. And do I want another color on the edge? Nice. Yeah, I like that. And then the tree. Yeah, okay, that'll work. And I'm gonna put this on again. So, anybody doing anything fun today? Anything exciting? I told my family I did not really want to do anything for my birthday. I don't want to go places. I don't want to do things. I'm just like, I am kind of excited about the idea of just being at home. But I know they have some plans. I've been seeing them sneaking around. My husband's like, why don't you shop or something? And I'm like, well, I could, but the fact is, every single day is like a special day for me. With my illnesses and stuff, I'm so happy to just be alive and be healthy and being able to do things physically that I want to do. It just makes me happy to just be doing whatever every day. So this is rose gold, but it looks a lot like copper, honestly. So I'm just putting it on my finger and I'm brushing it across the leaf print on here. And kind of catching it in the nooks. Wow. That's a wow. It's sparkly. It's really pretty. I like it. Okay, hold on. And then I don't want to cover up all the leaves after I just got them on there. So, but I do want a little something for the message right there. You mean so much to me. Wow. Okay, yeah, I'm liking it. I feel like this needs popped up. The only way to pop this up would be to cut multiples and layer them over and over and over, and it would make it like even sturdier. You know what I mean? Like, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So it's kind of a Jennifer McGuire trick if you ever watch her stuff. Instead of trying to use foam tape on this, which would be awful, you use glue and you just do layer, layer, layer on top of each other, and it makes it thick and thicker and sturdier. And you can see how that works to put some on my finger instead. Just make it easier than hitting all those little holes. And okay, woo, now it's sticky. All right, there's that. And there's that. And then wipe the glue off. And too angled. I think just a square. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Now the other thing this one would look really good with is if I took some of these and cut them out and layered them like over it, which is kind of a pain. So, you know, really think hard and long before you really want to do that. But if you were going to make this for a special occasion, for someone who, a sympathy or a thank you, or, you know, a good friend, I don't think you would mind, you know, so much taking the time to do that. So I'm just going to take a piece of foam tape and put this on. And then I am going to squeeze my rose gold over it like paint. Look at that. Wow, that is gorgeous. All right, look at that. You see? Cool. I'm gonna put a little bit in the trees. All right. Woo! That's very pretty. That is a very beautiful card. You know, I don't think it shows very well on camera just how sparkly that is. It's so gorgeous. I love it. Let's see. Feel like I could do. That's really pretty. Okay, I want to do one last one because I got this green out and I have a panel, and I think I have some of those crates. You can see when I colored those in, I colored some brown gray around the edges just so it wouldn't be so white. Although if I knew I was putting it on white, it just wouldn't matter. But I do like how this looks. And let's see. I could do that, or I could do a tree. No, I think, gosh, these trees. Look at the tree. Just that alone is so gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. That's a really pretty card, just like that, with a message. Very plain. Could do a bird up in the corner. It's a gorgeous card, just like that. It's just so pretty. Or thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. Put that at the bottom. Or we could do the rustic crates. It's, you know, so many options. I'm going to, okay, I want this foam taped up, but I don't want it so foam taped up that I can't mail it easily. And so I'm getting out my paper scraps. Do you see my paper scraps I've got here? And I just want to show you my trick to popping this up really quick. And then I'm going to go because I have to clean this mess up. It's driving me crazy. So I'm basically going to glue these on. Now this is a card. This is not something that is going to be held for the rest of time. You don't have to worry about, you know, your friend like keeping this for the rest of her life kind of thing. You just don't. So you can do stuff like this on the back of a card and it won't show. But what it will do is it will give it some dimension. Okay, so watch. Glue. Okay. So what you have is a card that has a little dimension on it. You can see the dimension there. It pops up, and in real life you can kind of see that dimension, but you're not using up tons of foam tape. And I have these scraps like stacked all over the place, left over from scrapbook pages and things, and I use them to, you know, to stamp on and stuff like that. But see, I think this would be a beautiful card, just like that. Looky, looky. Gorgeous. But I think I'm gonna do the trees. All right, let's do the trees. Okay, there's one. Try to make it straight. And then here is the other, and I think, let's see. On this one, if I just do the branch, I won't get as much, you know, glooby all over the place. And the branch, the actual leaves will kind of curl out a little bit. It'll look a little bit dimensional, even though it's all stuck down. So I like that it looks a little bit popped. And then a bird. And in what color? Do I want two birds? No, I don't. I just want one bird. It's in a weird place now because I was gonna do two and then I was like, no, I don't like that. Okay, and then the message. I feel like I need just a smidge of color down here, a swoosh of color or something. Now, since I've already put my message on, let me see if I can remove it. Yeah, okay. I feel like I just need, I would normally get out one of those stamps that has the swoosh on it and just stamp that like ground. But since I've already done this and made this mess, let's see. How about, do I want acorn? I'm gonna put a little on my desk here and use a water brush. Add some water. I want it pretty watery. And I'm just gonna swipe. Good. And then maybe a couple of darker swipes on here. There. There's always a way to fix something that you're not happy with or to add to something. Okay, now I can take my message. Like that. Well, hello, Heather. Have a fun day. I got stuff today too. I think we're going out to lunch. Like I said, I told him I didn't want to do a whole lot, but that's okay. We'll do things. We'll do things. It makes them happy. I usually do things for other people, so I think that helps to do things for my daughter to be able to do things for me. There we go. Okay. Here is the cards that we're finished with. So here's this one. And this one with the glitter, which may still be drying a little. No, it feels dry. This one, which I am going to add a little something something to. Not sure what yet. Here is this one, which needs a sympathy message. This one. And here's one with the rustic crates. So I've got a few fall cards that are just really simple and quick in an hour or so. I mean, I just had all the parts cut and ready. So you can do that on your own and just put things together and make them really special. And look how easy it is if you have these papers, you know, to like just kind of do something special, right? I mean, look at this. That's nice. I could do something like that, right? Okay, enjoy your day. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Bye-bye.